If he
I was in class when apparently all of this broke, and so class let out for lunch, and I was getting text after text and calls, and my phone was blowing up, and so I read a few of the texts, and then I got on Facebook and saw what was up there, and my initial reaction was, "Oh my God, our Facebook site has been hacked,
Mhm.
and
Tell
someone
us what you
has."
saw. Tell this. Wait, this was on the Caddo,
This was on the Caddo Parish Animal Services Facebook
and what
page.
was there?
What was there was 6 dogs with the Star of David on their foreheads and Nazi SS symbols in on the top of the page.
And any comment to that? Was there anything
There
posted?
was a footnote at the bottom of that, but I didn't see it. After seeing the photographs, my eyes went blurry, and
Huh.
I immediately called Dr. Woodrow Wilson, who's the Caddo Parish administrator, to ask if what they had done, and could not get through to him, and then said, "Well, patch me through to legal." Legal said they didn't know what I was talking about, and then so I just immediately hung up and called back and asked for Dr. Wilson again, which
Now,
she was
what
still on the
about
phone.
how have you determined the source of this post?
Well, the way that I have determined the source of the post was that I did eventually get a hold of Dr. Wilson, and Dr. Wilson confirmed that Everett Harris had indeed put that on Facebook.
And that came from where? From a disgruntled user of Caddo
He
Animal
the
Control?
the initial report that I have received, of which I now looking on Facebook, that has changed some, but what was initially told to me was that Director Harris had allegedly received this in the mail, and that upon receiving this in the mail, he wanted to share with the citizens of Caddo Parish some of the stuff that people send him. And so he intentionally put that on the website to show the citizens of Caddo Parish the type of thing that he may or may not get in the mail. Of
When
course, I have not determined whether or not where I have no idea where that piece of paper was actually
when you
produced.
had Dr. Wilson on the phone when you were talking to Woody, and you said this has got to be like a horrible idea. What was his reaction to that? What was his reaction to the post when you had him on the phone?
Well, this is just the most current scenario, incident, case of poor decision making being delivered by the director of animal services. They're just, if you go back 3 weeks, there's the case of him refusing to relinquish a dog to a pregnant lady who was driving through town to see her husband, who was in town from the Middle East. And we had animal rescue people who volunteered their own private time, their own private money to deliver dogs across the United States because it's their passion. And so they had offered to bring this woman who lives in Houston her dog back.
Mm-hmm.
She had a 4-year old. She's 8 months pregnant. She's at home by herself. Her husband's in the military in another country. And Everett Harris refused to relinquish the dog so that this rescue group could bring it to her home, even though she both and her mother asked and did in writing for them to relinquish the dog to animal
30,
services.
30 to
Should,
40.
should Mr. Harris resign?
Well, absolutely, I think he should resign, but he's not going to resign because I believe that, I mean, he has a degree in accounting and he works in animal services. This is the very first job that he's ever had in animal services. And one of the rules about animal services is that first you have to be a people person. And then after you're a people person, then you can be a pet animal, cat, dog person.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a degree in accounting. He has absolutely no background or qualifications to hold the position